Hello, hello, hello. You have reached the law office of Don Dennis. I am glad you're here. Glad you decided to join us for this video. And we're going to be talking about, did Mr. Biggs get busted? Trademark rights and potentially wrongs. What exactly is a trademark? A trademark is something such as like a logo or your business slogan. Think about the McDonald's golden arches. Those golden arches are a design mark that you register with the trademark office so that if anyone else uses that design without permission from McDonald's, without having paid them in advance, they are violating their trademark rights and can be sued and have to pay them big money. And the word underneath McDonald's is their trademark word mark. Just like if you have a business, Mercedes-Benz, Nike, Starbucks, those are all trademarked words, Apple Computer. And if you use that without permission, you could be liable, meaning responsible, and sued for trademark infringement, a lot of money. So again, I thank you for joining. This channel is devoted to helping you make the most out of all of your business transactions, stay in compliance with the law, and not violate anyone else's rights. All content that you hear is rated R for real and not PG for playing any games whatsoever. And no attorney-client relationship is formed between my office and any viewer absent a signed engagement agreement and retainer on file. If you appreciate the content, if you like the content, please be sure and hit that like button and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can remain abreast of when we go live and when new content is added. I want to thank all the existing subscribers and everyone that has shared their comments on other topics we have previously discussed. And if you have any questions or comments about what we're talking about tonight, feel free and leave that in the comments section. You know, in this situation, Rudolph Isley is suing his brother, Ron Isley, alleging that Ron went and got a trademark registered for the Isley Brothers' names without permission, without letting him know. You know, it's unfortunate when you have family members that have to sue each other or decide to sue each other. And you can imagine, having been in business with family for so long, you never would think something like that would happen. A lot of times people say that everything is fine, everything is copacetic until big money is involved, until, you know, someone wants a greater share of what they previously had been getting. But the interesting thing about this matter is the fact that they had been doing business together for many years, making great money, being very profitable. So it's unfortunate that this matter ended up in court. Well, nevertheless, all we have is a complaint. A complaint is just allegations that have to be proved by evidence and facts. Some people call it receipts, but in court, we call it evidence. And so what Rudolph Isley is alleging is that Ron went and registered a trademark without letting him know so that he could make more money and not share it with Rudolph. So he's saying that Ron went off, registered it, didn't say anything, kept it all quiet, kept it on the down low, as he says in his songs, and didn't tell him anything. And he's upset about it. And so, you know, to the outside world, obviously we thought there was nothing but smooth sailing going on with the Isley brothers, but then we lo and behold, we find this out. And Rudolph obviously had to serve his brother. And, you know, now it's a very contentious matter. So what happened recently? Well, Ron filed a motion to have the court throw out the entire lawsuit, saying that Rudolph doesn't even have enough evidence to prove a case against him. However, Ron's motion was denied. So let's back up a little bit. What exactly is a motion? When someone says they file a motion with the court, when you file a motion, you are asking a court to move to do something. Courts don't just do things on their own. Judges aren't just waiting in their chambers, waiting in the courtroom, and they say, hey, you know what? I decide I want to do this for someone, or I want to file something. No, you have to file and ask the court, request from the court that they do something, which is basically filing a motion. And then the judge gets an opportunity, and he or she will read over the evidence, read over the information, and make a decision. And in this case, the judge said, no, we are not throwing out this lawsuit, Ron, that was brought by your brother Rudolph, because it seems possible that Rudolph might be right. So think about that. Think about the fact of having to go to court, spend time, spend energy, pay attorneys, pay court costs, and wait to get a decision. You don't file a motion in court or a lawsuit and the next day you go to trial and the next day you go before a judge. No, it takes time. You have to wait your turn in line before your case is called. It could take months, it could take years, but just to give you a heads up, nothing happens overnight and immediately. So why exactly did Rudolph file this lawsuit? What's the big deal? Because these trademark rights are so valuable. Think about the Nike swoosh symbol. Think about the Air Jordan symbol that you see on clothes, that you see on shoes. Do you know how much money they generate every year from those symbols? And if you can take that symbol, put it on a shirt, put it on a hat, and make it look like it's the real thing and sell it, you could make a lot of money too. Think about all the time that you invest in your business to build up your name, to build up your reputation. And for someone to take that name and start making money off of it would likely make you very upset and make you want to take action to stop them, make you want to take action to get back the money that they made off of you, and for them to be formally ordered not to do it again. And obviously, just receiving something in paper might not be enough persuasion. So what do we want? We want the person to be fined. We want it to hit them in their pockets, for them to have to spend money to right the wrong that they did, so they'll be highly dissuaded from doing something similar in the future. So that's why trademarks are so valuable. Now, a lot of times people will say, look, business and family don't mix. Don't ever do business with family. Don't do business with friends. But I would have to offer a slightly different opinion on that. There's nothing wrong with doing business with family or friends. But what I would suggest that you consider is make sure that everything is in writing. Make sure that it's in writing, and then that it's reviewed and everyone is clear on what was put in writing, so that everyone says, you know what, this is what I was expecting, and this is what you're expecting, and we're all on the same page. Because if not, it could be a problem. In addition, there is another reason why things should be in writing. Let's say you're doing business with your cousin and you guys have a great relationship and you split your profits when money comes in. He deposits the check or she deposits the check, and then everyone always brings their fair share back to you, or vice versa. You take their fair share to them. What would happen if you're sick? What would happen if you're unconscious? And what would happen, God forbid, if you die? How would anyone else know the way that your affairs had been ran and should be ran in the future if you're not there? And so by having a document, having a contract helps clear up things, helps make everything smooth so there's no misunderstanding, because there's a big problem with just making assumptions and not having facts. In addition, if you have nothing in writing, the guarantee that you make to your business partner or that they make to you is only as good as them. And if something happens to them, you're stuck. So I want to share with you some common reasons that I've heard time and time again as to why people don't get things in writing. And I'm talking about getting things in writing at this point because one of the key contentious issues between Rudolph Isley and Ron Isley is that they didn't have a formal agreement pertaining to this trademark issue or a few other things in writing. They felt, hey, we're brothers, we've been doing business, we don't need anything in writing. Now, what are some common things that I hear from people all of the time that I've heard for years and years as I practice law as to why close friends and other people don't get things in writing. One, lawyers are too expensive. It would cost far too much money to memorialize our understanding. And look, we're on good terms. We're cool. We don't need it. We're just fine. Another common reason as to why people don't get things in writing. I don't know any lawyers. The only thing I've heard about lawyers is that they're all dishonest, that they lie. They're not going to keep their word. They overcharge people. You know, they don't follow through. They don't communicate well. I call, they don't return my calls. I don't want to go through that. And because of that, people say, you know what? I don't want another headache. I'd rather just focus on my business, or I'll just grab a document I see online and we'll just use that, or we'll just write something on a sheet of paper or on a scratch sheet of paper. You text me your understanding, I'll text you back, okay, and we're good to go. And then lastly, I hear, well, we both understand each other. We don't need anything in writing. We've had a great relationship. And since we both have a common understanding, I know what this person likes, they know what I like, we don't need anything else. So why is that a faulty reason? Well, memories fade. Memories fade. People forget. And when you start doing a tremendous amount of business, it is impossible, unless you have a photographic memory, to remember every single detail and every single line as to what was in the agreement, when people are supposed to be paid, what bank is supposed to be deposited to, what deductions are allowed to be deducted, what expenses we all agree upon should be taken out of the money, who's going to pay taxes, when are the taxes going to be paid. These are a lot of common details that you want to have clarity on, and it's best to have it in writing. And if you're liking what you're hearing, please don't be stingy. Hit that like button, hit that share button, share this with someone you know can benefit. And if you need assistance, contact my office, because we specialize in helping companies and individuals all of the time prepare simple agreements and complex agreements. So let's talk about what exactly Rudolph Isley wants the court to do. And let's take it in logical order. First of all, the trademark is solely owned by Ron Isley at this point. So before he can do anything, Rudolph wants the court to declare that he owns 50% of those trademark rights, that he is a 50% owner of the Isley Brothers. Now, what's the next step? If he can get the court to declare he halfway owns the trademark rights. The next step, he wants to find out how much money Ron has made off of using this trademark. He wants an accounting. He wants to see the books. He wants to see the numbers and check them, finding out how much Ron has made since November 2021. And so if I'm first declared to partially own the trademark, and then I see how much money is generated, what do I want next? I want the money. I want my fair share of what's owed to me based on these books. So that is the third and final step. 1, declare I'm half owner. 2, let me see the numbers, let me see the books. And 3, give me my money. Give me the cash that belongs to me. So that's pretty much the order of events. Now, what is the issue with this whole thing? As I said before, you have to spend time, money, and energy to get these things straight. Look at all the money they're going to spend in attorney's fees just to get something finalized and to get a clear understanding. It is not helpful, and it is very aggravating. I can tell you, in speaking with clients, it is extremely aggravating. Think about all the time you're spending concerned about this, having anxiety, wondering what's going to happen with court, wondering why it's taking so long, wondering if your attorney can expedite things. And unfortunately, there's only so much an attorney can do. And that's why you want to try to get the best possible understanding with people that you do business with before you go into business with them. In addition, You want, when you're drafting an agreement, to think of all the possible scenarios as to where your business is now and where it might be in the future. And if you can think of these things and think of possible ways you might want to monetize and make money off of your business, you may want to include that information in your contract up front so that you've already planned for all types of possible things that can happen. Listen, you want to start right and finish right. But if you start wrong, you can take corrective steps to straighten things out, because no one is perfect. No business owner or attorney thinks of everything. However, if you do have a dilemma, if you do have a problem, and you do want to advocate for your rights, contact my office. If you want to get a consultation before you sign an agreement, contact my office, because it's much easier to look over the paperwork before you sign it than deal with issues that you didn't see or didn't quite understand after you sign it. Again, I thank you for joining. Continue to monitor this case. Let's see how it turns out. And make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel so you can take advantage and learn from all the great content we intend to put out. Have a great day.